July 2024 video horoscopes with me, Lada from astrolada.com. July is forming up to be a very interesting month, a month of battle between light and darkness, but the light predominates because the month starts with a new moon on Sirius, the most spiritual, powerful star, the brightest star in the sky with energy. The Christed energy is carried there, which with only with good aspects. Then the whole month, Jupiter is passing over the eye of the bull, the luckiest star, according to ancient astrology of Hermes, the star of success and abundance. And Jupiter is the planet of success and abundance. And this happens once in 12 years only. This is the star of Archangel Michael. So we have the energy of the Christ consciousness through the new moon coming to us. It's Sirius is the star of freedom, of being free. That's why a lot of Independence Days happen for different countries around that day. So the energy of freedom and spiritual awakening comes through the new moon, while through Jupiter we have the energy of Archangel Michael coming to who fights the dark forces. Simultaneously with that, Uranus and Mars are coming together, and in the middle of the month they join on the critical degree 25 degrees of Taurus, where projected the star Algol, a demonic star, the most inauspicious star. It has like demonic influence there, and it's star of catastrophes and shocks and beheadings and losing one's head. But that's the only negative influence. Or it can also be positive, because through the star Algol you can cut off unwanted things, like the head of Medusa is cut off. You can cut off unwanted things from your life. But there is the gathering of this dark energy. But Jupiter, Archangel Michael, Sirius, the Christed energy of the ascended masters as well, energy of the teachers of humanity, is there to help us. I'm so excited. Let's dive into the 12 signs to describe it through each of the 12 signs. And before that, I want to introduce you to my new 4-hour tutorial that I've recorded for you already. On the first 12 hours, 1,000 ones were sold. So thank you so much for your trust in me. It speaks about each of the 12 signs and the 5 connected themes in the life of your rising sign, in the life of a person according to their rising sun or moon sign. Do you know that every person, every sign has 5 topics in their lives that are connected? For example, do you know that Aquarius people, especially Aquarius rising, their money and financial success very much depends on their social connections and on their friendships, because the ruler of the second house is also the ruler of the 11th house, second house of money with 11th house of friends or social network. That's why very often Aquarius need to social network and can become abundant through that. Or if their friendships are not good, their money is not going to be good. Or, for example, let's take someone else, Taurus rising. Their second house of finances is connected, is the same ruler as the 5th house. So their financial state can really change after having a children, or if they do something creative that they really love. But there's 5 such topics that are interconnected for each sign. For example, why is Scorpio such a battlesome sign? Because the ruler of Scorpio is also the ruler of the 6th house of battles, disputes, arguments, and enemies. Scorpio is the sign that has the most enemies, because the same planet that rules them rules their 6th house of enemies. But because it's Mars, that planet that rules them, they win over their enemies. But it means they have more enemies. So so I would describe you and how to do remedies if one area of your life is not working, for relationships, for your career. Like, for example, for Capricorn, if their career is not working, which is ruled by Libra, Venus, they should focus on the 5th house, which is also ruled by Venus, to raise the vibration of their Venus, and their career will also start flowing. So they might do some fun stuff, creative stuff, or even after having a child, their career can take off. But anyway, if you're interested to take this course, it's $24, 4 hours, and it becomes 39 after the 15th of July. Now let's start. Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising, July 2024. The Leo, the month starts with a new moon in Cancer, your 12th house, which is around the 4th, 5th of July. The 12th house is the house of the subconscious. And this new moon happens with a very illuminating star, which is called Sirius, of spiritual insight. And it's happening in your house of spirituality, the 12th house. So it can be spiritually very powerful new moon for you, with insights, downloads. 12th house is connected to the energy of the Christed energy, or the energy of Horus and Isis, or Christ and the Virgin Mary. Also, it's connected to the energy of the so-called ascended masters, the teachers of humanity, the benevolent teachers of humanity, because it's the spiritual, let's say, like the Sirius is a spiritual catalyzer of our sun, where the strongest spiritual impulses come from Sirius to the earth, to the sun. First, they come from the central sun of the galaxy. They go to Sirius because you need like a translators of energy to weaken it a bit, to the impulse, the information, to compact it, and Sirius sends it to the earth. So it has extremely beneficial and positive energy in your 12th house of past lives, of forgotten traumas, of healing the subconscious. So this is a powerful impulse for any such activities. Plus, it can indicate new beginnings, even though the 12th house is for endings, but new beginnings connected to 12th house for you. It can be new beginnings connected to faraway countries, or some new spiritual research or study, or maybe some other kind of study and research. 12th house loves to delve into such topics, and because the new moon is with Sirius, there will be a more higher-minded energy, a more inspirational energy. Sirius is a star of freedom. It will be freeing you. There will be some internal realizations that are freeing. Sirius is always, the sun passes over Sirius around the 4th of July, 4th, 5th of July. A lot of countries have the Independence Day around that time, because it's an impulse for awakening the star Sirius, of liberating humanity. And now you have the sun, moon, and Venus even, and the sun and moon and Venus aligning to the degrees of Sirius. So there is this powerful spiritual impulse for liberation, for being freed in your 12th house. Of one of the negative sides of 12th house is our self-sabotaging behaviors, addictions. If you're anything that you do that is hidden vices, to undermine yourself, or even hidden enemies. Sometimes our biggest hidden enemies is us. And this way you can be freed from such influences, or realize a lot about that. Or you can download incredible psychic information in your dreams with this new moon, which is so auspicious, with such high vibrational star. And a lot of truths can be revealed, or even liberation from your in your dream state, or by working with a psychic or a psychologist. 12th house rules all of those people and experiences. But usually it can mean that the person is a bit more resting more when the 12th house is activating, more in a meditative, introspective state. And usually people can feel more tired, but because the star Sirius is so bright, is the brightest star in our system here, or that we see from Earth, I think there'll be more like spiritual activation that takes a bit away from the energy that's focused internally. And it can be a new, powerful new beginning, connected either with studies, research, foreign countries, metaphysical studies of any sort, and so on. But the more the month progresses, after the first 10 days, your Venus will enter your sign, Mercury is entering your sign. So you're going to start becoming more alert mentally, more focused on the external world, and attracting a lot of Venusian months in July, and Venusian things, because Venus in your sign first will make you more attractive, to take care of yourself, to pamper yourself. Also, it will bring more pleasures. These are the external pleasures of life, and more calmness and zen to you, not to be like reactive and stressed so much. There's a small period, though, which we'll speak about, that is a bit more stressful. But Venus can bring more of those good foods, enjoyable company, pleasures, even more money. When Venus transits your sign, your popularity and money can grow, and even love experiences can happen for Leos, or at least bonding with someone emotionally, connecting more, good relationships, improved relationships, more harmonious, and very good ability to judge what is right and what is worthy of your time, what is not worthy of your time as well. But anything Venusian that you want to do, whether it's renew your wardrobe, whether it's new hair, new makeup, especially after the new moon, after the 6th, 7th, it's great. Or anything Venusian, if you want to open up a beauty salon or a fashion studio or working with women or anything to create more abundance and money, Venus in your sign after the new moon can be very auspicious time for you. The whole month, Jupiter, if you can see it here, is on the richest star, Aldebaran, the star of ancient sources of Hermes. That Aldebaran is the luckiest star, the star of the biggest success, the star of the riches, the star of the wealth. And Jupiter, wherever it passes, it expands that 2-3 times more. And Jupiter transits that area of the sky just once in 12 years. So you have this opening here in July while Jupiter is in this most auspicious eye of the bull, to see something from a higher perspective. It's the eye to see something, Jupiter, higher perspective in regards to your 11th house. So something very beneficial can come to you this whole month from friends, some wealth generating ideas from friends or acquaintances, or just people in your social environment, other people. They can be a source of some growth for you, expansion, opportunities, especially this month, because after that, from August, Jupiter still will be in your 11th house, but squared by Saturn. So these opportunities for financial gains of the 11th house that you're going to have in July strongly start becoming harder, will require more efforts or slower from August. Jupiter in the 11th house can bring popularity as well. Venus in your first house is also helping, but the 11th house is the society, and Jupiter passing through popularity through your 11th house of clients, of gains, of income, through the eye of the bull, very beneficial for maybe you can increase your income, maybe you can get some ideas to expand your following, to reach more clients, or to achieve some long hoped for dream. Something, maybe a project that you've been working on, long-term goal project, can be fulfilled now, and you can become very gainful for at least the next 12 years, which is till Jupiter comes back again to the bullseye of this most abundant star in the sky. But make sure that you're open to the suggestions of others, to work with others or help from others, because it's in your 11th house. And to gain, and you can build bridges that for years ahead after that, a gainful, abundance, lucky and prosperous. So new friends can enter your life now. It's the house of friendships or acquaintances that maybe not immediately, but over the next few years, you can benefit through them. You can mutually be helping each other from a higher perspective as well, not just for money. Let's make money together, let's expand the consciousness of society. The 11th house for you is society, the world, humanity, and you might have some ideas there to expand, to grow, to open their eyes as well. But yeah, connections with friends, with like-minded people, finding your soul tribe. It can feel that you can create abundance and luck. It's good. It's very good vibration. Archangel Michael rules the star Aldebaran. It's a royal star. So people that have royal soul quality can enter your life, or you can connect with them. You might even know them from the past, because the South Node is trining exactly Jupiter, which is something from the past, and it's trining from your 3rd house of acquaintances, siblings, mates, schoolmates, neighbors. So it can be from the wider group or smaller group of your social interactions, but you have there a lot of green light. And Jupiter is making a trine to South Node the whole month from this abundant star. While the South Node, it's a closing trine, so it's also about reaping rewards. The 11th house is rewards, whether it's an honor or title that Jupiter can bring you now, some recognition, or whether it's some project you bring out that receives abundance through the Aldebaran star, the many clients spreading like wildfire socially and so on. or maybe you make some connections with others that are very beneficial, or maybe some project you've been working on, commercial business, which is the third house, or some writing project, speaking project, internet project. Third house rules all of those, whether it's a sales website or a writing or a book or some document or paper or some project. Third house rule all of this mental, kind of more skill focused mental abilities that is coming to a close, and it's giving its fruits. And it's in your house. Jupiter is in your house of gains, trining this third house south node. So maybe wrapping up such a project, seeing the results of it, reaping rewards from it as well, or from connecting with people, others in your life, that whether it's siblings or relatives or friends, that can be, and even removing some of those in easy way, in a positive way that's not disruptive, because the south node is about eliminating, and it's passing through the star Vindemiatrix, which is about separations, but also about harvest. So it can be harvesting time for relationships with those around you, or it can be ending time, but in a very, you do it from a higher perspective, forgiving them, letting go, just the karma has completed with such people. They can be released, and it's not in a painful way. It's in a very elegant way again. But this third house is very positive, the third and 11th house connection for you, Leos. So both Jupiter and the south node remove barriers, and they help you anything social, anything connected to business, to social projects, to audience, to connecting to people, can be even spiritual connections with people. Yeah, Jupiter south node trine in social houses can mean releasing some relationships that are no longer necessary, but new ones can come, but they are, or some from the past you haven't seen, because the south node carries the energy as well of past life connections that are blissful for you, that are abundant, because Jupiter is making a trine from this very auspicious area. Maybe past life associates, past life strong friendships that appear in some way. So yeah, it's very good month for gains and growth of your social network, for initiating new long-term projects and goals, or even reaping the rewards of such efforts previously. Now, in the middle of the month, there is a bit more stressful influence. Uranus and Mars will be conjoined, and they're both like a bit heavy energy, or let's say not heavy, sharp energy. And they're connecting very close to the Pleiades here, which in Vedic astrology was represented as a knife, cutting knife. So, and it's in your 10th house. What does it mean? You can be very ruthless and cut off, something connected with your reputation or with your career that is no longer necessary, but also be careful about encountering authority figures around the middle of the month, with police, with institutions, bosses, having a confrontation, because Uranus and Mars are squaring the sign Leo from the 10th house. They can be more cutting such interactions with authorities. You should be more careful for accidents of any sorts as well around that time. But especially the later degrees Leos, those from 22 to 27.8 degrees, that's where Uranus-Mars conjunction will be happening. That will be square my moon. So yeah, there can be some more stressful events connected to your career, father figures, or people in authority, or if you're your own boss, you might be initiating something, or maybe some surprise, the need to quickly mobilize yourself to act fast, but you can get a lot of work done as well, even though it might be more high stress energy with Uranus and Mars, because they're energy of getting things done. Plus, the star they're aligning on is also connected to abundance and wealth, but it has darker connotations. So we have to be a bit careful there. But because it's in your 10th house of the star, our goal that they're aligning on, it's also connected to wealth in ancient astrology, but as well to losing one's head. So don't lose your head with authority, whether you're the authority figure or someone else, to lose your head with anger or something like that. Just be mindful about that. but it can be also very excitable energy to get you going. 10th house is the house of action. Mars is planet of action. Uranus is fast action. So this is the other important activation. And then at the end of the month, towards the 20th, 22nd, there is a full moon, Leo, in your 6th house. Now, the last 10 days of the month might be more focused on work. 6th house is work, on getting things done, on working behind the scenes, or more health focused, because this full moon is conjunct also Pluto in this house of health practices, 6th house. Pluto is to detox, to release toxicity. So this full moon can help you release some unhealthy habits, just like the new moon in the 12th house with the inspiration of Sirius can uplift you about self-sabotaging behaviors and habits. This new moon can help you more ruthlessly, like Pluto, cut off unhealthy habits or be more focused, laser focused. Pluto is laser focused about exercise, routine, regime, or see the results of such things. Maybe you've been doing I've been doing a detox for the last 2-3 months. Maybe now you start seeing the results with this full moon. Oh, it's some really important developments there with any health routines, exercises. Of course, sometimes it can mean attention to your health. So be careful, Pluto can be something that too much toxicity that can give you a flu or something. So just that's the more negative connotation that this full moon can activate some health issues there. But with awareness, and there's a lot of help, like I said, the star Sirius, Aldebaran, a lot can be improved. And the ultimate highest goal of this full moon is to improve your health habits. Plus, it's work. You can be working or something can be culminating on your work, some work project as well that is taking your attention there. 6th house is your enemies, open enemies, directly that the ones that someone who is attacking you. There can be escalation of more kind of vicious such attacks because it's with Pluto, this full moon, but it works out good for you. Someone criticizing you, you might feel more critical and more sensitive to such attacks. But because Pluto is there, but this full moon is making a lot of good aspects to other planets, Neptune, Uranus, Mars as well. There is a lot of help if there is such confrontations from this full moon, because activating the houses of animosity or conflict, or some kind of conflict can come to a conclusion, to I don't know, getting divorced, some court case or whatever that is culminating and it's wrapping up after this full moon. You're seeing the results of it. Or if there've been some attacks or whatever on you, or sometimes it's even around the workplace, that can become more poignant and potent with Pluto new moon in your 6th house. But again, there is help from Neptune, from Uranus. So the higher forces are protecting you. Instead of reacting explosively, you find the solution, you find the way out. And even to win over your enemies and to complete this kind of provocation, let's say. So on this good note, this is the reading for you, Leo, for July 2024. Be blessed. Take the most you can from this Jupiter amazing alignment with the Aldebaran in your house of wealth and gains and rewards. Very lucky position, Leo. And the sun, which rules you, aligning with the spiritual star Sirius for insights and liberation.